Hello everyone, we are finishing up with our window compositions this week. So by the time that you're done, you should have the spaces that you want filled in. You can take your design off of your sketchbook page. We'll actually come back to this in just a moment. The first thing that we want to do to finish up with our projects is make the black window frame. So you'll have a piece of 9 by 12 black construction paper. For those of you at home, if you don't have this, that's fine. You can skip this part, not a big deal. But for those of us at school, we have a piece of 9 by 12, I got it right that time, piece of construction paper. In order to make your frame, you actually want to fold it in half, like this. And then you're going to use the stencil that I gave you, and you're going to line it up along the folded edge of your black paper. And that's super important, the folded edge, otherwise we will not be doing this correctly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and trace the stencil. All right, and then we should have this space. Now double check yourself before you do it. You should be able to continue it all the way down. If not, erase your line and make sure that you've done this on the folded edge. All right, and then you'll grab a pair of scissors and we're going to cut the window portion out. All right, so let's go ahead and open that up. All right, so what we should be able to do is place our window inside of it just like that, and it works out pretty well. So using a little bit of masking tape, you will secure your window to the inside part of your frame. I would especially get it in the corners just to make sure that it's really stuck down there. All right, and then this should definitely be the back of your project, of course, because, you know, we can see the seams and the tape and everything. Right, so by the time it's taped down, you should be able to flip it and you should be able to see your window design pretty clearly. So that's great. That means that your project is actually done. So when you're finished with your project, you want to get out the checklist. So the checklist has several items up here at the top. Before you turn in your window composition, make sure you have shown the influence of Frank Lloyd Wright. To have a design that we would be successful in terms of formalism, and that's the primary reason that we did this project, so that should definitely be done. Third point, have successfully used 2 to 3 of the elements and principles. That's definitely important to be successful with formalism. All right, have created a unique and creative design. You wanted to make sure that your design was original, not a copy of anything or anyone else's. And lastly, have completed your work as neatly as you can. Obviously, I understand the Sharpie smudges sometimes, mine smudged, but you do want to be as careful as you can. All right, and the question that I have for you to answer relates back to the prompt for this project. You're imagining that you are a designer who's been asked to create a Frank Lloyd Wright style window. So this project, you would pretend that this would be the proposal for this design to see whether or not you would get the job. So therefore your question asks, do you think that your design would get you hired for this job? Why or why not? So put yourself in the place of a designer, thoughtfully answer your question in 1 or 2 sentences, and then turn everything in when you are done. All right, so after your project has been turned in, you'll also want to make sure that you answered the sketchbook reflection questions. So we have two sets of questions here. One, what did you learn about formalism and the elements and principles with this project? And second, do you think it would be challenging to be an architect or designer like Frank Lloyd Wright? Why or why not? So be sure to answer your questions thoughtfully and in complete sentences.